Hey guys, D.Bowie here, and this is Understanding Professional Drafts with Navi and Secret. Before I start this video, I would like to point out that I have zero experience in real competitive Dota. While I did play in teams, we weren't near the understanding that teams like Navi and Secret have of both Dota and each other. So I borrowed my 7k MMR friend that is currently playing for a professional team to help me through this video. The first thing we need to understand before we start talking about this draft is the player factor. While one particular ban or pick might seem weird or slightly out of place for you, each of these teams and players have fought countless times and they know a lot about each other. I will go back into this as I talk about the draft, but please have that in mind. Also, the approach I'm going to have during this video is very straightforward and reactive, trying to point out why each hero either synergizes with the other picks from a team or is a counter to other enemy picks. But have in mind that drafting is not necessarily reactive. Sometimes teams have a plan from the start, regardless of enemy picks, and sometimes they can bait picks or play mind tricks. While I won't go in depth about this, since it would be far-fetched, I just wanted to mention it. The first two bans from Navi are straightforward. Ember is a very strong hero this patch and one of the most picked heroes from Secret. Also, Lone Druid is one of the hardest heroes for Luna to deal with, a hero that Navi has prioritized a lot in the few games they played. So banning Lone Druid is good, especially if they don't like playing against it. Secret bans are Magnus and Weaver. Well, one of the other ways to deal with Luna is Terrorblade. His superior attack range is very strong against her, and you shouldn't underestimate Reflection against a farm Luna. That combined with Secret having first pick and denying the Shadow Demon Luna combo allows Secret to have a very strong combination against Luna overall. Well, I'm praising Terrorblade and Shadow Demon here only to talk about their Magnus ban. Dandy is known for picking a hero, and Empower is very strong against Shadow Demon and Terrorblade because of the illusions. At the same time, Weaver is a very strong pick this meta when they already plan on getting two heroes with no stuns, Shadow Demon and Terrorblade. So going for the first pick phase, we can see Secret going for Shadow Demon, which in a way disrupts Navi's chances of getting the full Luna Shadow Demon combo. And Navi responds with Luna. You shouldn't give the entire combo to anyone, and a nice touch is getting Slardar, a staple hero this patch and a hero that is sometimes used in combination with Lifestealer to win the early game, not allowing Luna to grow. The fact they also have Shadow Demon, a decent counter to Lifestealer, could be a good indicator of Secret going for this path. The response from Secret is Terrorblade, and one key mistake that new players that start playing competitive and captain's mode make is always leaving both mid and carry heroes for the end of the draft. There are tons of reasons to get Terrorblade in this second pick from the first phase. Well, the first one is that Luna is a very strong hero in this meta, but is relatively weak against Terrorblade. With the addition of Secret having Shadow Demon in their team, it's very likely that they will ban Terrorblade eventually, especially considering Secret is known for picking the hero. Going for Navi's bans, we see Sand King. Sand King is pretty decent at counter-initiating X. With Eggs and Blink Dagger, he is great at hunting Tinker in the mid to late game, and since Luna has low attack range, even in lane, Sand King can be a nuisance. Slardar is also not the best hero to zone Sand King at level 1, so he's a decent ban. Secret bans Darkseer, great hero against Terrorblade, both in the laning phase as well as the late game. He's very fast, so won't usually get killed in lane, even with Metamorphosis, since they also lack Lockdown with Shadow Demon. Ogre is a great hero on any Slardar and Luna draft. The extra move speed and attack speed sends their physical damage in fights and pushes to the roof, and in a way that helps Luna deal with the difference in attack range against Terrorblade. Also, I'm not sure if Secret was considering picking Invoker, but Ogre can shut him down in the early levels. That, combined with Navi already having one bulky support, probably made Secret consider banning the hero. Navi goes for Crystal Maiden, a hero that is a great early game asset and is a slightly underrated force against Terrorblade. Crystal Nova offers a huge AoE move speed and attack speed slow that also works decently well in the early game against Terrorblade illusions. CM ult is also pretty decent at dealing with these illusions. The fact that Slardar and X can get mana regen in the early game increases the tempo of the game in a way, which is something good if they are considering going Tinker. Tinker is a greedy hero, and with Navi having more aggression in other lanes, they can switch the focus from ganking Tinker to protecting the other lanes. Secret goes for the Puppy Venge. Venge is just a great hero this patch. The minus armor and her aura synergizes very well with the physical damage from Terrorblade. She can zone the offlaner relatively well, gank, and the save is very decent against this Slardar initiation. The fact that she can scout Roshan against Navi that has Radiant advantage and Slardar is also very important for Puppy's team. So when you think about Secret having Venge, a lot of people would feel like going for more initiators would be a bad idea. Experienced teams will always have the key hero protected by Venge, But that's not the only reason they are going X. Navi's team wants to have a higher tempo than Secret. While Terrorblade is a counter to Luna, he takes more time to get online. He can take early towers, but he's not great at taking early fights. Even if Venge is well positioned in the early game to save Terrorblade, that doesn't mean anything if they can easily kill her and take towers afterwards. And oh, I said that Venge is decent at zoning offlaners, but with her low attack range, X can trade decently against her. Usually, you want to avoid going X against two ranged supports, but Venge is not the case. Knowing that, it's not surprising that they go for the offlane Enigma. Not only the hero can severely decrease the experience and gold gain from Luna by denying the range creep, the hero is great at early pushes and fights. So maybe with Mac, they can make up for the fact that Terrorblade is very squishy early on, needing items. And the best way for Secret to get these things is taking towers first, acquiring map control and farming later, because if they just try to farm after the laning phase, Slardar and Axe will destroy them, considering they had a decent laning phase. One thing you need to understand from now on is that Tinker is a great hero against Terrorblade. Not only March of the Machines can destroy early and mid-game pushes from the illusions, but when Navi pushes, they can use March to hinder the reaction from the illusions as well. But the greatest part of Tinker against Terrorblade is the Scepter. Not only the pure damage is great against illusions, but there's no item that can be used to counter the mischance. At least not on illusions. Knowing that, why didn't Secret ban the hero? Well, to be honest, I can't say for sure, but here are some ideas I brainstormed with my friend. The first one is greediness. Tinker is way more greedier than Queen of Pain in every sense of the word. He is item and level dependent to be a counter to Terrorblade. The second one is game tempo. If they allow Navi to have Queen of Pain, the strength of both Axe and Slardar roaming with the gap closing aspect of Queen of Pain could be too hard for their draft to handle. Also, if you pay attention to the support duo from Secret, they will have a harder time ganking Quap than Tinker. Shadow Demon can easily disrupt and use Soul Catcher on Tinker, and with Venge stun, the kill is pretty much guaranteed, and that's not the case for Quap, so I guess this is why they gave Tinker even though they had a ban. Oh, the fact that they are going Quals X Invoker is also worth mentioning, but in this case I would say that the hero is relatively good against Quap as well. Maybe not so good, but still very decent. The last ban from Navi was expected, Sniper is the poor man's lone druid, and indeed Navi went for the Tinker and Secret for Invoker. Well, this wraps up for today. If you enjoyed this video, please guys, give it a thumbs up. And I can't overstate how this video would never be possible without the huge help from the Pugna guys, so please show them some love. Pugna is a platform where you can learn from people like Chessie, Fogged, Slasher, Monib, and get better at the game. They have now great content on 7.0.0, and if you want to raise your MMR, it's a great time. Just figure out the patch faster than others and get those easy wins. So what he really wants is either get both of them on RP or go for it after one of the skills were wasted. So pay attention how he is diligent in waiting for chaotic offering. He gets RP on Slardar, so then he can't counter initiate, and all of that combined with Juggler having Empower and TA having Aegis makes them power through the enemy team.